the way.
We're wanted men.
I have spoken.
Welcome to episode 298 of the Smugglers Galaxy Podcast, your favorite Star Wars podcast for smugglers in the galaxy. I'm Glenn. Jason's over there finishing his pizza.
Hi.
Oh my goodness, what a morning, Jason. What a morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good. You're all alone.
I'm all alone. The wife is having a girls' trip with my daughter and daughter-in-law for her birthday. So yeah, I got to celebrate her birthday without her. So I'm batching it this weekend.
It's San Diego Comic-Con weekend too.
I know. I should be in San Diego Comic-Con.
I wish maybe someday.
Maybe one day we'll make it there. That would be fun, but I don't see that ever happening. I don't know. We never know. Isn't it harder to get tickets to that than Celebration, or about the same?
I don't know. I've never heard people struggling, but then again, confirmation bias. I've never really paid attention to tickets for San Diego Comic-Con.
Well, plus you'd never watched Big Bang Theory because they had a whole episode about them getting tickets, and it was apparently a pain.
It's enough of Big Bang Theory. We don't need any more spin-offs. We don't need any more shows. Just let it die.
Oh, dude, I watched it last night and it was so bad. I'm like, I hope this gets better because the acting in it was bad. It was all CGI. You could tell it was green screen. And I don't know what the problem is. I guess green screen is just so much cheaper, but I can see it in almost every show I watch that it's on a green screen. There could be in a living room and it's a green screen. And this was obvious. Most of the time you're like, maybe I'm being biased, but this was really bad big green screen the whole freaking episode.
I don't need to dig that hole anymore.
Dude. Yeah, man. So yeah, I Stuart saves almost saved the universe or whatever. HBO Plus. I'm like,
I haven't picked up anything recently because like that little pivot.
Yeah. He's trying to get rid of it real quick.
Garbage.
I did pick something up. So we went to, I guess to celebrate, we ended up doing this and I'm like, hey, Mandy, it's your birthday. So we did this, there's Tiger Sun in Atlanta. They do these themed dinners. And basically it's like they do it on a bus. So there's like 18 people per seating. And they did a Back to the Future themed one for this month. So we went and, long story short, they had swag and stuff you can buy. So I got a little mini flux capacitor that's, 2 inches, 3 inches tall, and it lights up and makes noise. So we picked that up. It was fun. I mean, I would have liked them to lean into Back to the Future a little bit more. I mean, they leaned in it as hard as they could. But it was a cool experience. They had small plates with a drink.
You expect every event to be like Rogue Fun. So if you're going to do Back to the Future, you have to do the Rogue Fun of Back to the Future, people.
Yes, it was. And I was like, I was expecting there to be more stuff. They had some pops. They had a hoverboard, and it was cool. The menus, Mandy took the menus. It was all themed to Back to the Future, but it was just, here you go. We did Back to the Future. And apparently on the opening night, they had a DeLorean, but they didn't have one this go round. It was a cool experience. I was surprised because I'm a very, very finicky eater, and it got me out of my comfort zone a little bit. But yeah, we're too old to party like that because it was like 4 drinks and I didn't drink all my drinks. So my wife ended up drinking all my drinks and she paid for it all of Sunday. So Sunday was just kind of chilling and not doing anything because we got really, really had too much adult fun the night before. But if you don't want to look it up, Tiger Sun, I don't know what they're doing. I know they did. This one's back. I don't know all the ones they've done, but if you like adventurous eating, look it up. But
I have to catch up with some of my vintage collection stuff because I haven't bought anything since Rogue Fun.
Yeah.
And some of the things they've announced have been sold out, so I've got to find alternative ways to grab those items. But I've just been like, I'll get it eventually. It just kind of like taking a break and looking at other things and focusing on other things. And
Yeah. I think that's the best way to look at collecting is you've got to ebb and flow with it, and okay, I can't be 100% into Star Wars. You've got to go into the other things and you've got to have other hobbies. That's what I've been doing is focusing on my music stuff that's been my focus for like the past year. But I'm still looking at Star Wars stuff. I mean, there's that X-Files Lego set that comes out next week that I plan on
yeah,
buying.
yeah.
But
I
there
pre
again, it's at the point. It's like, okay, I'm bringing something into the collection, so you've got to get sell something to help fund it or make room for it. So it's
I
it's been doing that more than anything.
I pre-ordered the new Zelda figures with Hasbro. Hasbro's
Yeah.
taking over the Zelda stuff, and I had to laugh because there was quite a few people complaining about their character selection.
Mhm.
There's like, oh, that's the last Zelda game. We wanted something from the new one, and I'm like, this is just typical Star Wars stuff. Now I hear myself. I hear what I
You're
sound
like,
like to outside sounds.
you're like, oh man.
Oh, I can't escape it. I was happy, so
Right. And that's the thing is it's like as long as you're getting the toys, who cares? I mean, I know we can get into it in a minute, but like with all the new stuff for San Diego Comic-Con, freaking Blue Harvest or Blue Milk. It's not Rich's stuff, but there's like a blue milk collector or something on Instagram, and he is just going off on Hasbro right now. But yeah, I think everybody is
I don't
no,
know.
but you're not gonna make everybody happy.
I don't know why because oh, I turned off my
Uh-oh.
screen. Not share my screen. Hold on. Oh, that's okay. Well, that's for later. Like the Black Series stuff. So they've announced a bunch of stuff. Let me go through it. But connecting what you were just talking about, a lot of these Black Series stuff is all brand new, and a lot of the TVC stuff is all brand new. It's not
Hmm.
anything worth complaining about. There's Merrick from Shadow Lord, which I would imagine is the same mold as the one from Ahsoka, but it's just less dingy. Was there? I know there was one for TVC. Was there one for Black Series?
Yeah, somebody did compare it with compare those two. So yeah, I'm assuming it. Yeah, I think it had a Black Series.
And then there's Mandalorian Super Commando Kebris.
Do you see Balin's skull in that
I
figure?
did. When I first saw this, it's just a white dude with a beard, a gray beard. I thought, was Balin Skull in Maul?
Yeah,
Shadow Lord?
yeah, it totally looks like him.
They were plugging this and they were saying that you could put the helmet on and troop build it. So you have a bunch of these super commandos.
Hmm.
But when you take the helmet off of all of them, they'll be the same. But if you leave the helmet on, it's an army builder.
Yeah.
And then there's Icarus, which is one of Darth Maul's the Zebrax.
Okay, cool. So that piece does go. It goes on his face. It's not a different head. The
Yeah,
uh
it's just a mask.
the mask.
Yeah, he's got a little cloth mask that covers the from the nose down like he's a cowboy.
Yeehaw!
Trying trying to provide a visual for those that are driving.
That or he's getting ready to rob a train to
He's
push
got
a
a
time
minigun
machine.
too
Yeah.
from Predator.
Is that? I wonder if it's the same gun.
And then there's Gar Saxon from the Clone Wars, a realistic rendition of what the animated figure looks like.
Yeah, that one looks cool.
I don't like the yellow on his visor. I know it's lit up, so his see-through visor is like an electronic visor,
Hmm.
but it just looks off on the piece for me.
Right. So, I'm looking at that going, okay, they made Zeb a deluxe figure, and that thing's got a lot going on. Why isn't that a deluxe figure? You know what I mean? The way Hasbro's doing, pushing stuff,
Yeah.
because it's got a backpack, it's got two weapons, it's got a removable helmet.
Well, it's like the Sabine with the Lothcat deluxe figure. It didn't feel like a deluxe figure.
Right. This feels like you're getting value in that figure. That's a lot going on with that figure.
Mandalorians are expensive to produce too,
Yeah.
but and then there's the Night Sister, Mother Telzin, which is a pretty cool looking
That's a
figure.
good look. Yeah.
This was original art used in the development of episode one. It was for
That's
what?
Sorry, man.
No.
That's a really, I like the fact that you can put the effects on and off of that sword.
Yeah, she's got the green force effects. She holds it. You can put it on the sword. This was it, the sword of Talzin that was used in Ahsoka or something.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, originally this was a design that they just threw on the board for Darth Maul, just trying to figure out what the Sith Lord would be, and then they recycled it for the Clone Wars and made it its own race connected to Darth Maul. And then so they also announced Black Series Rod of the Hutt. They've a TVC one, but so I'm trying to avoid bashing Hasbro,
Hmm.
but with that said, I don't like the soft PVC because time and time again, the soft PVC is as opposed to plastic does degrade.
Right.
And that was part of the issue I had with the HasLab Rank War. It was that they were using a lot of that soft PVC. And so here, the only thing that's hard plastic is his arms. There's a wire in the body, the slug part of the body, so you can twist it and turn it. And then the upper torso is the soft PVC, and you can open his mouth, so his mouth flexes, and then his eyeballs, you can actually move those side to side.
Oh, wow.
So those rotate as well. So it's a really great figure. Um, if I was in a Black Series, I would pick this up, but I just don't like that soft PVC. And again, there's the Jabba Walmart um, exclusive that has been breaking down. It's
Hmm.
sticky. So I wish they would get away from that soft PVC, especially since a lot of these things do just sit on shelves. I mean, Black Series is more of a display scale.
Right.
It's not really a play scale. And so it'll just sit on your shelf and rot.
Yeah, that sucks. I didn't realize that was a Black Series.
That was Black. They do a TVC, and I'll get to that in a minute. There's also
Okay.
the Black Series Jesse helmet, which is just their clone trooper helmet repainted.
Hey, that's the kind of repaints I kind of okay, I can get behind, but how
Yeah.
many people are, if you're going to collect clones, I'm sure people are already painting it.
hmm
So why not make some money?
Then there's an Ahsoka Jesse two pack. They've been doing a
Yeah.
lot of two packs lately. And then there's a couple more two packs. We may come up to it. I'm on the Star Wars Collector Facebook group, Facebook page. There's an Anakin Skywalker Padawan TVC version coming.
And that's
Uh, th-
that's new.
this is new, and it's to support the Battle of Geonosis Lat stuff. So they said this is the final wave of 2026. Padme Amidala. Um, we should put in parentheses abs.
Yeah.
It's like none of the men get scratched up, and you have to show their abs. It's just the women in Star Wars that should do that for. Anyways, so that one's coming. They just they just released a clean version of this with her cape and everything. This is more of in the arena.
Hmm.
So I would imagine they were able to reuse like the legs, the arm, the face. Well, the
Well,
face
the,
is new.
the way that looks, they probably just repainted. They probably
Yeah.
just painted the torso differently.
Yeah. So they were just reusing parts. A kit
Well, look
bashed.
at that arm. Is that arm the
But
same thing as the Han Solo arm that you were complaining about a few months ago?
yeah, it's a I guess exposed arm, a bare arm.
Right, it's a bare arm, but all they did was paint it white. I mean, paint it skin tone instead of white.
Yeah. But it's a smart, like you're saying, it's a smart kit bash because it's a new figure. We don't have this version of Padme. We didn't
Mhm.
have much of Padme in the vintage collection, and all of a sudden we've got two figures in a year.
Right.
So, and then there's also Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi. Hello there. Um, just have to say his name. And it's the Attack of the Clones version from In the Arena.
Hmm.
But they've released this one before. Just this is new packaging. And then there's a new battle droid. It's a battle droid commander. It's a B1 battle droid commander, and they just released a four pack with three battle droids and one super battle droid. So this is the commander to go with that, and it's the orange color, the brownish orange color that'll fit into the Battle of Geonosis.
Roger, Roger.
Roger, Roger. And they said they made some comment about the wrists.
Uh-huh.
They did something new with the wrist so you can better hold the gun.
Okay.
I just got promoted. And then there's a super battle droid, which in the photos, it looks like it's a little bit glossier than the normal battle droid. So I'm curious to get this in hand because normally it's just like a metallic plastic that they've used, but this looks like a gloss, like it is real metal. So I'm again curious to see what the final version looks like. This was interesting, an INT4. So Kenner originally designed a bunch of vehicles. They were called mini rigs for those that don't know. And these were vehicles that were just off screen. They weren't featured in the movie, but because the camera didn't pan to the left or whatever. So they released these vehicles, and then Jon Favreau incorporated it into The Mandalorian and Grogu. So then Hasbro's remaking it more in line with the Mandalorian and Grogu movie. And it comes with the Imperial Remnant Warlord carded.
Yeah.
So very curious to get this. Would be my first INT4. I don't have any of the original ones, so
I've kind of been looking for them when I'm at events and I haven't seen them, but I also haven't, I'm not looking really insanely hard because I don't know. I guess I could collect those next, but they were like 20, $30, right? Is
hmm
what was seeing them at. So I don't know if they've gone up or not, but it's a cool looking, yeah, it looks better than the original one.
Yeah. It's got
And if
that
you
T.
want that dude, you got to get that.
Is it $52 worth it?
No.
And this one I think is a $45, $49, something like that. It's Rod of the Hut in the vintage collection, and I think this is all hard plastic because you can see there's articulation in the head here that's not part of the Black Series version.
Yeah.
So, and there's two
Seems.
points of articulation in the chest and this belly.
Yeah.
That's not on the Black Series one.
That looks better than the Black Series one, I think.
So he comes with knives and hammers and swords. Because the back of this is an axe, but the back of it is a hammer, so you can bash someone.
Right.
And he's got his little tattoo on the back of his head for the Hutt clan. Although this image right here makes it look like I don't know. I think it is just molded plastic, but it's got a little kink in it, so it makes it look like he's pushing or something.
Yeah. And then it's flat there.
Yeah. So and then this image it's flat. So maybe this bottom half is soft PVC. I'll never know because I won't open it. I'll get to that in a second. And then so this is part of the Black Series, Embo and Kibiu, Kibibibu,
His doggy.
his dog. But it's not the same dog from the Clone Wars. He's got a new one. It's the same species though. But it's a square package. Um, I don't remember seeing where it comes from. It's just available. It's not a convention exclusive or anything.
And that was $60. That's a lot of money, man.
And now there's a new X-Wing. And I was confused at first because it's vintage Kenner colors, but it is part of the vintage collection. They just painted their X-Wing to match the old Kenner version. So like the little ramrods, the jousts or whatever you want to call them on the wings are black, just like the Kenner version. It's painted white. And then I think these are stickers on the body.
Hmm.
I don't think that's painted on based on the photos. I haven't been able to look at it close up. Um, but it's a retro Kenner version of the vintage collection X-Wing, and then they're also packing Luke Skywalker in his Jedi flight suit, but it's all Kenner colors.
Right.
But I mean, it's the helmet's different, and his hair is more yellow, just like it is in the vintage days.
So is that breaking the rules as far as TVC goes to them making a Kenner?
They've done it before. They've kind of moved away from their original edict of having everything look realistic, nothing's cartoonish.
Uh-huh.
But as people change on the line, that kind of has gone away, and strategies have shifted with the new leadership. So
Yeah.
I guess this will make people happy. I guess if Jazzwares can do it, Kenner can do it, Hasbro can do it.
Jeez. Now, does that R2 come with? I guess the R2, you got to buy the R2 separate, huh?
Yeah, that's just a regular R2, the same one they've been using for years now.
Okay.
It doesn't look like there's anything
Yeah, it
Kennerized.
says it right there. Additional figures sold separately.
Yeah. And it doesn't look like Kennerized. It doesn't look like they're hinting at anything,
Right.
because he would be simpler on his head. And then there's the new Black Series thermal detonator. This is like a cosplay staple. There's a lot of people who like their first 3D print is this thing.
Yeah, that looks kind of cool. If I can find it for cheap, I probably would buy that because it's a he's got a thermal detonator. That's just cool.
Yeah.
It is like you were saying. That's the first 3D print. It's the first thing that people were really looking to when they're cosplaying because I think that isn't that would be an easy print to do,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. And so if you're a Mandalorian, you're gonna have one of these. If you're Leia Bausch, you're gonna have one of these.
Yeah, I'm just curious how big it's going to be. Is the scale going to be off or not?
It's supposed to be in your palm of your hand.
Okay.
And then there's the Captain Enoch Black Series helmet.
Yeah, that's a cool looking helmet. It's creepy, man. It's just creepy looking.
Yeah, it's a weird helmet with that gold face.
Yeah.
When I first saw it, I'm like, is this Star Wars?
Yeah, it does kind of have a Battlestar Galactica feel to it.
Yeah. And then there's the Scarif Stormtrooper and Magma Stormtrooper set. It's a Walmart exclusive. It's a Black Series 2-pack. And then there's the Clone Trooper Dogma and hard case set. This is another Walmart exclusive. And then prior to San Diego Comic-Con, they revealed an Imani guard. So we're getting closer to possibly having a Monomon someday in the vintage collection because now
Yeah.
they have the molds.
I really hope. Yeah, that looks like he can roll up, don't he?
I think so, yeah. There's a lot of flexibility in his neck that wasn't part of the vintage collection, the vintage
Right.
piece.
Well, that was a really crappy figure in the vintage line. And it was cool, but it had no very little articulation and very little movement, it felt like.
You know, they also announced a $60, it was like $57 Clone Trooper. That's an Amazon exclusive. It comes in like an exclusive black packaging that folds open. It's got one Clone Trooper, four different helmets, two different heads, but different pauldrons and different rifles, guns, blasters. So you can make your own customized Clone Trooper.
Yeah.
But it's basically like, here's everything we've used in the past couple of years. We'll just throw it in one pack. And
There again, that's something I think is smart. And truthfully, I mean, I don't know. For me, I think if you for $60 you can throw instead of doing that really awesome packaging, you could throw another figure in there and just throw it in a plain white box.
yeah, you
And then
could.
you could do two for one, or charge a little bit more, throw another body in there.
Hmm. And then there's a Disney Store exclusive, Jedi Temple Guards. It's a Black Series, and it's Jedi Temple Guards. Um,
Or those
at that scale.
new or
They're new, yeah. And then finally, well, this is the convention exclusive. By that, they mean it's just going to be sold later. It's a vintage collection TV that looks like Anakin and Asajj Ventress from the Tartakovsky Clone Wars. And then a Black Series, was it ATRT
yeah, the
Clone
thing that
Trooper?
Mandalorian rides in
Yeah,
Mandalorian and Grogu.
but it's painted Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And then lastly, oh, there's two last things actually. They unveiled a new figure, Queen Amidala, and they also
Yeah.
unveiled the new packaging for it.
Does she come with an extension cord so you can plug her into the wall?
No, I don't know if this one has electronics.
So you've never seen the picture of her in that
Yes,
outfit where
yes,
you can see
yeah,
the extension cord?
yeah. I know what you're talking about, but I was wondering if maybe they did something with electronics because I haven't seen this posted. Ted Post commented on the official Hasbro Pulse page.
Uh-huh.
Like they're throwing the new packaging out to disguise the fact that it's $34 now
Holy
for Black
smokes.
Series. And next year, I should say, maybe. I don't know. I haven't seen that anywhere, so I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know if it's like this is the new deluxe because a lot of this is soft goods. This is a
Hmm.
fabric. It's Amidala from Phantom Menace in her iconic red dress. So if anybody's at home or driving.
And truthfully, I look at that packaging. You said deluxe figure. I look at that packaging. not a normal figure packaging. You know,
Hmm.
it's a cool packaging, cool box. And it's something that um it feels like it's finally the boxes are maybe meeting up to the figures or something. That's something to where you can if you're a boxed collector, it would look really good on display versus a old school Black Series box.
Hmm.
But I mean, that's a cool looking figure. I'm not a fan of Menace or not a fan. I don't mean to say it like I'm not a fan of Menace fan, but it's a good looking figure. I know there's a lot of people out there that like that figure.
Yeah, a lot of the prequel trilogy fans are now in a position where they can collect this kind of stuff. So that's why I think Hasbro's been balancing OT and prequel trilogy.
Yeah.
They've kind of walked away from sequel trilogy because nobody, I don't think, was buying anything.
Yeah. Well, that's
So,
something. I mean, I've been seeing it in my kids, and that's their Star Wars, and they're 30 years old now, and that they've got the disposable income, so why not?
mhm. They also made an announcement that 2027 will be in support of previous HasLabs.
Good.
So I expect to get something for the lat, for the, sorry, I was eating, which is very professional of me. The Cantina, hopefully we get more aliens, the HasLab, Razor Crest, the Sail Barge, and the Ghost. So I guess topic of conversation while I finish my pizza here.
Yeah.
What do you think is missing from the Ghost that they could add to it?
Uh, they're releasing a Hera. They need a. I don't think they have a right Sabine. They need to just. Okay, so fudge. They need the six Spectres. They need them all from the same season. I think so. From either season one, as long as they make them from the same season, so they match versus having them from different seasons. Um, the from what I can remember, and you also hit me this with without
Yeah,
thinking.
without thinking. Well, that's
Um,
why I wanted your gut. Like,
right,
this
my
is
gut
it.
is I don't think the Ezra is the right Ezra, even though it's the he's dressed right, but I think it's the one from Ahsoka or something. It's not. It's a weird Ezra for some reason. It's oh yeah, because it's the one where he's in the
Yeah,
thing when Sabine's watching him. So it's that Ezra,
yeah.
not the Ezra from season one, season two, whichever season you want to make. Uh, they did a Callus, which I haven't gotten yet. I would like, gosh, who else would I like to see? Maybe the droid,
What?
the protocol droid would be cool to have.
His name is Chopper.
Not Chopper, the C3. We have Chopper. I've got three
What is his
Choppers on
name?
my
Like,
desk right
it's like
now.
A
Huh?
ASJ4 or something. He's got a name like that.
Yeah, that one that, and then gosh, who else?
What about the Phantom itself? Do you think they should do the other one?
I think it would make money. They've got one that they've done prior to this, but it's not in scale.
Yeah.
I would I think if they want to do a Phantom one, they can make some money with it. I would buy it. I mean, if you want to pull at my heartstrings, do the Rebels run. I think I'm trying to look at that little bitty picture, but they all look like they might be the right, or maybe they did the
I think these are the figures that came with the HasLab.
okay, well then yeah, because then you know what? I would be happy if they would just re-release those figures on a normal card back, truthfully, to where
Yeah.
I'm not opening up the really cool card backs for them, and because I've already got the Sabine because Hasbro screwed up my Sabine and they sent me another one, so I was able to open her. Um, I would like to see some more tier background characters. I was trying to be all
Tertiary.
tertiary.
It was either tertiary or pterodactyl. I wasn't sure.
um, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, how much? I look at the Ghost. I love the Ghost, but yeah, it's like you'd have to open it up and you'd have to have people at the lunch table or whatever. I'm sure you could set it up like that, but that lunch
Yeah.
table's from what I can remember, it's loose. It's not
Yeah.
connected to anything.
It's not. It moves around.
So I mean, you set people up on that and you touch it, it's gonna move.
Yeah.
Uh,
So in 2027, there's no new HasLabs announced at San Diego Comic-Con like there has been in the past. So I guess there's nothing this year. But
yeah,
again, they're not doing, we talked about this previously. They're not doing any HasLabs this year. And then lastly, so this is not a representation of the actual figures being offered. What
Hmm.
they did was took photos from the retro collection, excuse me, and then they just added it to this yellow background and they just blurred them out. So these aren't like you can't look at this and say, "Oh, they're making a new Darth Vader" because you think that's Darth Vader's silhouette.
Right.
But it does represent the 28 characters that are coming in the retro collection for 2027,
Yeah.
plus, I guess, two vehicles maybe in a playset or something. There's three big blobs at the bottom of this graphic, which represents something. So,
Well, I already see what two R2D2s are,
yeah, but that is R2D2. It's not a representation of droids coming.
you're right. Oh, so it doesn't, it's just, they're like, oh, okay. It's
Yeah.
just blobs. There's nothing tying it to anything,
Right,
is
but
what
they
you were saying.
used previous released figures as the blobs.
Okay.
So
Yeah,
like
because
this
I'm
this one right here is Darth Vader.
right.
If
And then you've
this
got
looks
to,
like Obi-Wan Kenobi, it is Obi-Wan Kenobi.
okay, gotcha. Well, that's kind of cool. Yeah, if they're going to do that, oh, wow, that's a lot of figures, dude.
Yeah. And, it's probably going to be like Baru and Owen and maybe some of the pilots that we never got from Kenner. Um,
And that's one thing that we've been discussing since the start of this podcast. The pilots would be easy because all you're doing is putting a new head on them.
yeah, we just got the Wedge as part of that last group.
You can change a little bit of paint on the body, and you're putting a new head, and you've got a figure for nothing.
And these figures are still just basically $10 each. So it's very affordable. And
Oh,
that's
these are
the
retro. Hold on, these are
this is
retro. Oh
retro.
shit!
This is retro.
Damn, I totally missed that.
Oh,
Wow. All right, dude. I know Jerry's gonna be happy.
yeah, 28 retro figures plus three vehicles or something. We're not sure exactly what they are. I don't know. They've never made their own Bantha.
Yeah.
They made a dewback. So if you're going to do something for the celebration of the Star Wars New Hope, your options are kind of thin because they did do a lot.
Hmm.
I don't think this would be a new land speed or anything like that. Well, I hope not. If it is a land speeder, I hope it's one of the other land speeders seen in Tatooine and not the Luke's land speeder. But yeah, all these things are coming in 2027, so start saving your money.
Yeah. Do you think they would do a an early bird or new early bird set?
I don't think
Or-
so because the last one didn't sell well at Walmart.
Okay.
Ended up on clearance.
Well,
So
wasn't that was Black Series though, right?
that was vintage collection. There was a mail away in the vintage collection.
Oh, okay.
So that's all the
That's
toy news.
that's kind of exciting, that many figures, because normally they're just getting like eight, six or eight, right?
Yep.
You're only getting that one big pack.
Yep. There's a new book coming called Star Wars Celebration. It's 50 years of the franchise, and it includes fandom. But if it's just like the fans online influencers, I'm out. Like if it's just a book of people on TikTok, like I'm not buying that because that's not a full representation of fandom.
Right.
And
You
no, 9 times out of 10, it's just the people that play nice with Lucasfilm.
right. And that's what, because truthfully, geez, that annoys me the most, because you'll see people like, hey, look, Lucasfilm just sent me this. And it's like, that's because you got 100, or a couple of thousand people watching you. What about people like us that, you know, doggone it, I'd like to get some free crap from Lucasfilm, but I don't think
But
it'll
I
ever
don't know.
start.
It's all speculation. I know fandom is part of it, so we'll have to wait and see. It's supposed to encompass 50 years of the entire Star Wars.
Yeah. And isn't Jordan Hembro tied to that?
Is he? Did he write it?
I think he posted it.
We'll see.
Let me see.
Um,
Hold on.
and then there's new comic books coming next year. It's the original trilogy. No, sorry. It's the original Star Wars New Hope, but told from different points of view, like they've already done in book form.
Mhm.
This time it's just comic book form.
Yes, he did work on it. I don't know how much he did it, but he did post it. So he said, I worked on this project.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then lastly, Seth Green took the stage and he said that Star Tours Detours, which is Star Wars set in the Simpson universe. Well, that's how he wanted it. He wanted Star Wars in the Simpson universe, like that kind of funny comedy.
Right.
So Seth Green and team went back and they developed Star Wars Detours. don't know if I said Star Tours. Star Wars Detours.
You did say Star Tours.
It's Star Wars Detours. And it'll be screened at the Lucas Museum of Narrative Art. It's going to be like some sort of exhibit, and they're going to show several episodes. So if you go to that museum, you can possibly see Star Wars Detours for the first time.
That's one way to get people there, man.
Yep.
Were you going to talk about the displays for the other museum too, the roaming displays? I saw somewhere that they had posted done a little bit about that, those walking, is it in Philadelphia?
Yeah, it's going to start in Philadelphia. It's the museum, and they showed some renders of what the exhibits will look like.
Yeah, those look pretty cool. I hope
Costumes will be on display. It looked like scale models will be on display.
Yeah, I really, really hope it comes to Atlanta. That would be cool, or at least close enough to where we can make a weekend trip out of it and see it.
And then we have a couple comments on YouTube.
Oh, we got a ton of comments on. I was really. Oh, we got comments on YouTube. Yes, go
Yeah.
because I'm jumping ahead.
This is from a couple weeks ago, but Bold City Bantha said, great show. Have to check my recent pickups. My wife and I went to a children's consignment store kind of thing to get some clothes for the kids. While I was there, I decided to look through their toy section because I have issues. I found a Kenner Return of the Jedi Luke in a bag with a bunch of Marvel figures for $3. It was a beater, but I had to grab it because it's crazy finding it there. He kept Luke and gave the Marvel figures to his kids.
Hey, good for him. Congratulations.
And then Dennis Las Vegas. Hold on, I'm trying to change. Why is it not moving? Anyways, Dennis Las Vegas said, love the stories. Would love to make Rogue Fun 3. Also, super cool for you guys to do collecting room tours. Thanks for these. Love the podcast.
Cool.
And then Bold City Bantha again said, great show. Sounds like Rogue Fun was amazing. Obviously, this is a Rogue Fun show. Hoping to make Rogue Fun 3. Look forward to the podcast coming back next month. Well, we're back.
Yay. So did you hear what they're putting into the old Toys R Us that turned into Joann's that turned into nothing in Kennesaw?
Yes, but now I forgot.
They're putting a Savers in there,
What is that?
like a competitor of Goodwill, but
Oh, good.
better.
Is it a not-for-profit?
I think it's a for-profit, but they don't hide, they don't pretend to be what, you know what I mean? I don't 100% know, but as far as what, if it's for profit or not, but I do see a lot of people getting some cool stuff out of Savers.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So if you see somebody that finds like a really cool find, like that one guy found where it was a $3 Luke, or they'll buy a bag of figures for like $3 and there's $50 worth of figures in it.
Yeah.
It's from Savers. So I'm looking forward to that being there. If it's going to be as cool as what I'm seeing online. So it'll be the first one in Georgia. So I'm excited about that.
Cool.
Yeah.
So set up this next section because this was your question that you wanted to talk about. So where did it come from?
I think because we were talking about this last week, and after we had hit stop, I had kind of made it thought about it. After we'd stopped recording, I guess I thought breached the question with you or something, and then it's like, no, we need to talk about this more. Because, there is a lot of frustration with TVC and what Hasbro's doing with the line. And, I started thinking about the dark times where we didn't have all these things to collect. And I was like, well, what would happen if Hasbro just stopped making Star Wars figures? Where would we go? What would we do? What would be the plan? Would we go back to vintage? There's Sideshow. There's tons of, there's like our buddy Tim. He collects anything that says Star Wars on it. Will we do stuff like that? And I just posed the question. I posed it to you, and then you posted it, and we got a lot of responses. I was really surprised because normally we don't get replies on our things. It was like, what would you do if Hasbro stopped making Star Wars?
Yeah, on the official Smugglers Galaxy Podcast Facebook page, Lewis said old Star Wars. So you'd collect old Star Wars. Jesse said I'd collect all the other things I get from Hasbro, which is Marvel, G.I. Joe, all that fun stuff.
Yeah.
David Sword said, I've gotten away from Hasbro. I keep going with my Kenner Vintage. I've also gotten into collecting vintage Motu and also picked up a few things like sketchbook figures. Glenn McDonald said, custom jobs, like I already do. Glenn Bohr said if Hasbro stopped making Star Wars items, Hasbro would go bankrupt. Which
I
I
don't.
would I wouldn't say that's normally true, but in the past quarter, their stock has increased because of the success of these. Believe it or not, Mando and Grogu toys helped uh, propel their stock going up this quarter.
Those toys are successful because half the time I've
Yep.
seen them already on clearance at Walmart.
Yep. And then finally, Jason Graham said, all the other stuff I already do. I'd sure save some money. And then
Right.
lastly on Instagram, what happened to it? Uh, uh, Swiss Cheese Chronicle said G.I. Joe and Ghostbusters. So me personally, you can get your Facebook stuff. I would probably collect vintage Nintendo.
Yeah.
That's probably what I would get into, which
Yeah.
is not anything anybody said.
Right. No, so like Nintendo games.
Nintendo games, but I like a lot of the paraphernalia that used to help promote.
Hmm.
Because like, sorry to go back to Zelda. That's where I wore this. I'm wearing a Zelda shirt in because
I
it
was
feels
wondering what that was because all I could see was the green hand.
yeah,
Now I
it's
see
it's
Zelda
the
or
bad
Link.
guy, Ganon. But a lot of that early Nintendo stuff, especially the art, is
Hmm.
before they kind of officialized the characters.
You all right?
It's all over the place. Like Mario doesn't always look like Mario. Link doesn't always kind of look like Link. So I would want to get some of that kind of stuff.
See, and that's the kind of thing I was talking about is there so much other things other than than the vintage collection that you could collect. You
Yeah.
can go back and do, like you were saying, collect the art. You could collect the Burger King glasses. You could collect swag. There's like these little guys. I know the doables, doable,
Doorables or something like that,
yeah.
which will go in on clearance.
Yeah, they are. They're on clearance right now. So, I mean, there's so much other things you can collect, and that's where my mind was. And truthfully, I mean, I would probably do a little bit more Back to the Future stuff, which is sort of where my I've been going a little bit, but there's a finite things you can we don't always have to collect modern things. You could go back and make another 92 run, which I priced out my 92 run, and it's like, holy smokes, I could really ask that much money for it, because it was, how it is. You're like, oh, I need a new roof. What could I? And it's like, okay, in all, you don't, it's not something you want to sell, but you're thinking it's like, okay, I could sell my 92 run and then give it a couple of years and just start doing that again because they're still available.
Hmm.
It's not like selling a prototype where you're never going to get it again. And it's like I could legitimately ask like 10K for that 92 run, and that's not even pricing it right. That's $100 a figure.
Hmm.
That's not even going through and pricing it like, oh, the yak face is 1,000. All the last 17, you're looking at $500-600 for a last 17 figure. I'm just like, if I was going to price it $100 a figure, you can ask 10K for that a full 92 run, which blows my mind that that's where figures are right now.
Yeah.
But um anyway, I don't know where I was going, but yeah, no, and yeah, I would. Oh, yeah, I was said I could do another 92 run, and I went off the deep end. Uh, there's Sideshow. There's Sideshow just released a Wampa that they're getting ready to do. That I'm like, that's badass, and it's a cartoon Wampa. Somebody, and they did that in a Rancor and another figure, but um, so I mean, I could go start doing that. I could start, instead of spending dollars, you can spend hundreds, and buy one thing a year. But I think that's already boring to me a little bit because you are going to shows where you're ready to spend money, but you can't find anything to buy. Because you're looking for the needle in the haystack versus the haystack. Um,
And just
so
remember when Glenn says you, he means me. So he's looking for a needle in a haystack. He's looking for all that stuff.
Right. Yeah. When I say that, I mean me.
Yes.
I personally am looking for the needle in a haystack when you're
Yes.
at a convention or you go to a toy show and
Looking for the deal.
I'm looking for the deal. It's either got to be a really good deal or it's got to be something that sings to me. Uh, and I don't know. I mean, like that X-Files Lego. It's like, geez, that's awesome. Um,
Apparently. and let me just put my tinfoil hat on.
Yes.
Apparently, I've learned this recently that when they were making the X-Files, they were talking to someone from Lockheed Martin who just sketched something
Uh-huh.
on a napkin. He didn't say anything, and he just left it on the table and walked away.
Yeah.
So that triangle is supposed to be official, not officially, but like allegedly a real UFO triangle in military possession.
Oh, jeez.
Like the details that they incorporated in the show are apparently details that they were able to pull from this one meeting.
Wow. Do, do,
Anyways,
do,
sorry.
do, do, do. Uh, so
I'm taking my tinfoil.
no, I really enjoy the X-Files. I really enjoy
Oh,
that kind of stuff. I'm really enjoying watching, or space stuff. And that stuff I haven't got into. I'm into space, but I don't know if there's a collectible market for space stuff. And I don't know when I say space stuff, I mean space stuff, like um space shuttle stuff, NASA stuff. I'm sure if I go down to Florida, I could find it, but would that be worth pursuing? I don't know. That probably would be the next thing I would look at.
you had more comments on your personal page.
I did. So I think so Ted, our buddy Ted, replied on one. He said, I collect the Batman figures based on the Arkham series of video games. There's two that I missed. Maybe go back and hunt them down. Other than that, I don't know what I'd start a new what other than that, I don't know that I would start a new collection at this point.
That's a boring
Yeah,
one.
that's kind of boring, Ted. Come on, step it up, Ted.
I'm joking.
Trying to see if somebody else. I think I had somebody else that kind of
I thought your page
I
blew
do, I
up.
do, I do, I do. But some people had I guess they replied to my story and then it sent me messages.
Oh,
So these are my friends that commented a lot of these. So
yeah.
I had a lot of them are stupid but funny.
Oh,
One of them said the heads of the Hasbro executive team. Our buddy
okay.
Tony Harmon said probably
Hopefully your friend wasn't laid off by Hasbro.
the
We don't
our
endorse beheading anyone on this show. Just legally, we just want to put that out there. We condone it.
Tony Harmon said probably greater financial security.
Yeah, I think for us
Uh,
all.
our buddy Todd Osborne said vintage Star Wars. And then dot, dot, dot. Wait a minute. Which everybody's already collecting.
Yeah.
My stepmom said money. And insurance. I don't know what an insurance means. That's Robert. I don't know who he is. Somebody don't collect modern, so it wouldn't affect my collecting habits. Dollar bills, old Star Wars. Somebody put Star Wars question mark. I've already made that move. Old Star Wars and Planets of the Apes stuff. Pokemon with a picture of about 100 packages of Pokemon. My paycheck, Transformers. Somebody said real human skulls.
Hmm.
Another one for vintage. Our buddy Shay said beers. Yeah.
And you be collecting fat in the stomach.
Yeah, exactly. That's what
That's what they call a beer belly.
Yeah, so get off topic for a second. When I went to
I'll be collecting weight.
yeah, wait. So when I went to the doctor to have my physical a couple of months ago, the doctor was just like, I was like, hey, losing weight, whatever. And she's like, "Well, you drink beer, right?" I said, yeah, I can have a few some
A
nights I
few
have
an
two or
hour.
three. Huh?
I can have 2 or 3 an hour.
Yeah. And she kind of looks at me and pats the stomach and she's like, that's what happens. I'm like, oh, but I like beer. So anyway, Joel said, I quit buying modern a few years ago, sold off 80% of what I have, and don't miss it one bit. And then here's Jerry, our buddy Randy. I only collect retro these days, so about 6 less figures per year. And
Well,
you've got
and
30 of them coming next year.
until next year, start saving.
Dude, I'm looking forward to that. That's a cool line. I really hope the retro line that they do more of the stuff that we didn't get
Yeah.
versus um things that, oh, let's just rehash the 92 run.
Yeah, your Owen, your Brew, your Dodonna, maybe Biggs,
Yeah.
um, the aliens in the cantina, of
Hmm.
course. There's plenty. Wooher. Get a vintage
I
Wooher.
I know it's going to piss some people off, but I still say they should make a blue snag, but make it very obvious that it's a retro blue snag.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
put something on it.
they've done Yak, like we've said, so they can always do that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. So anyway, yeah, I've even looked at somebody was asking me if I had some graded figures, and I'm like, I have a yak face, and they're like, how much you want? I said $1,000, because at that point I can sell it, make a few $100s, and buy a used loose one
Wait,
and
so they
replace
asked you,
it.
do you have any graded figures? And you're like, yeah, I
Yeah,
got this one. And they, how much?
a grand, and they
Is
just,
that really
oh,
what the
that.
conversation went?
Well, I was making room. I was selling some of my graded figures
Oh,
because it's like, you know how it is. You just like,
yeah,
what can I sell, or what can I do? Because, like I said, if I buy something, I'm at the point I've got to sell something, to fund it. And I
sure.
was selling some, like that X-File set. It's 200 freaking dollars. I can't. You know what I mean? It's like you've got to make room for stuff.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, what do you have? And what other graded figures do you have? And I'd send him a picture of my yak face, and he was like, how much you want for it? And I said 1K, which is, it's a little high, but it's in line. It's not bad.
It's not
And I
bad.
know that I could sell it and replace my yak face and replace it with the ungraded one and still have a few $100s.
Yeah.
And it's, to me, I don't know. It's a lot of money still sitting out there, but people aren't buying. I mean, I guess the higher end stuff people are buying, right?
Yeah.
But like you were saying last time, how much is there still, there were yak faces? Were there yak faces at Joe Fest, or is it just at the?
There's a lot of yak faces at Joe Fest.
Mhm.
And like it's the whole rule of like, how do I say this? Like your figure's worth what the market will pay for it.
Right,
So if you've got several yak faces at a show for $700, then your yak face is probably overpriced, unless it's just an item to bring people in.
right,
I mean, and obviously sellers again won't want to drop their prices. They want their money, and they're willing to hold on to this one item until it sells for the price they ask for. But if they were to drop them to like $500 and they all sold, then the yak face is worth $500. It's not worth 750.
right.
And then Hasbro went ahead and made a yak face retro, so I don't feel like I need to get one because I kind of have one.
Right. Now, dude, I kind of agree with that. I mean, as long as I've become less of a gatekeeper over the years, and it's like, it's your collection. You do what
Yeah,
you want with
yeah,
it. I mean, I'm to the point, I don't agree with the repro stuff, but if that's what you want to collect, I can't tell you no.
yeah.
I can advise you or be like, hey, that, personally, if you're going to collect a retro, you should mark it some kind of way, just so that it doesn't fall into line, years later when your family tries to sell it or whatever. But I think it's getting to the point where we're going to have to let loose that retro, the repro uh flag, because you're not going to be able to tell the difference.
Good luck.
Yeah. To tell the difference or let loose of it.
Let loose of it.
Yeah.
It's a community that wants to hold on. And I'm not shaming anyone. Please don't
No,
take it the way. I'm just saying that the community really wants to hold on to having the pure weapons and stuff.
and I don't blame anybody, but I mean, at this point,
But
I'm
at
tired of
some point,
fighting.
something's going to have to change.
I'm tired of fighting. I mean, and it's not fighting. You're just, something's going to have to give. And you throw your hands up in the air and be like, it's almost a non-winning. You're not going to win. It's
And
it's not a hill worth dying on.
it's my understanding these repro weapons are getting so close to the original that you might even have them and you won't even know it.
Right.
Unless you open it yourself. If you're buying it used, there's a good chance that it could be a repo weapon, but you wouldn't know because they're so close, like I said, to the original.
Yeah.
So
I mean, they probably float and sound just like it. I mean, there used
they
to be
all
a
float
ding
down
test.
here.
Huh? They
They
all
all,
float.
they all
They,
float down here.
yeah, and they used to have a ding test where you dropped it on a plate and you can hear it. But yeah,
Times
what?
have changed.
Yeah.
The AIs are making repos.
I mean, everybody else, GI Joe, they don't care. The GI Joe collectors don't care, and we've got
Yeah.
good friends that are GI Joe collectors that are like, So why do you Star Wars people hold on to that so tightly? Because we don't care.
Yeah, there's people walking around Joe Fest handing out repro weapons to add to your GI Joes, and they just gave it to me, and I'm like, okay, thank you. And then I spent the rest of the afternoon. Do you want this? Do you want this? Like, it's not, it's not that I don't want it. It's just not something I would use. It would just go.
That's funny.
It took a
But
couple hours to find someone.
that's great because that's how GI Joe is, and it's like
Yeah,
maybe we need to stop gatekeeping on that. I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know why. You know what I mean? I understand it, but I just don't know anymore. You know what the right answer is because we've got to be more welcoming, I think.
just yes, but also just collect what you want and respect people for collecting what they want.
Right. And I guess maybe because when I was coming up in collecting and learning collecting, the stance against repro with the people I was hanging out with was so strong that I kind of was I understood it, but I was still like, why? What does it matter? You know what I mean? So I'm
It drops the price of the actual item. This is the reason why
yeah.
you get more.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
Your $75 Luke is now a $50 Luke because it's got a repro lightsaber.
right.
So that means all the prices come down.
Yeah, exactly.
That's my negative.
Yeah,
My
no, I
take on
get
it.
it. I mean, that's why I was like with the when they were doing the retro line, I was like, man, maybe it'll bring the prices down on, because somebody that wants a 12 back figure instead of spending a $2,000 on a 12 back figure is going to go spend 10 on this one and
Yeah.
they're going to be just as happy. And it didn't. To my surprise, it didn't really affect. So that's what I'm curious about. I mean, $700 for a freaking yak face is a lot of damn money.
Yeah. It's a yak.
Yeah. I mean, and I paid 250 for mine in 2017 or 225 for
Oh,
mine in
rub it in, why
2017.
don't you? I should have bought one in 2017. Had I
Right.
known then what I
Well,
know now.
I mean, that's what people need to realize too, is it's like people that have been in the hobby for years, they bought their stuff a long time ago. You can't do what people, if you're in the hobby for a long time and you've got an awesome collection, it's because you collected when stuff was more affordable and you were able to do it. You can't do a collection like that nowadays unless you've got unlimited funds.
Yeah, I was listening to Steve Sansweet talk about because they did international items on the latest Saga
Oh my
Museum
God,
video.
yes,
And he was
yes.
talking about his Uze, which in the 90s he said he was able to buy for just pittance compared to what it sells today for.
Hmm.
It was in a time where you could just walk around. Hey, there's a bootleg. I'll just buy that at the convention. Good luck finding a bootleg at a convention now.
Yeah, because people, those Uzes are thousands of dollars, and he
Yeah.
probably paid a couple of $100 for it.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of money back then.
Yeah, he had the calculator to go with it too. But it's not the calculator, it's the same calculator,
Right.
the mass-produced calculator.
If you guys are looking for a good show, look the Saga collection on YouTube. It's really good. I like it. It's a good 15-20 minute watch if you're just looking to kill a few minutes on the YouTubes, and you get to see some cool stuff. And it's people we know doing it.
Hmm.
So that's what's even cooler is you can like I've said last time, I could look at that show and be like, three of those four people have been in my house. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That dude was petting my dog on my couch.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I mean, well, because it's just like the toys that made us, that old show, The Toys That Made Us. You watch it and then you watch it again later when you've been in the community for a few years and you're like, I know all these people. It's crazy.
Hmm. So I think that's pretty much it for the news and the topic. We actually had a topic this
It was
week.
great, man. I like I don't come up with when I come up with them, they're good. I was surprised, man. So thank you for everybody that replied. That was awesome. Um, hey, we're coming up on our 300th episode in 2 episodes. So if you want to be part of that, email us. We'll read your
Yeah.
email online. Tell us how much you love listening to us on Tuesday
No,
mornings.
don't do that. Should not be self-serving.
I'm not trying to be
No, it shouldn't be, is what I'm saying. Is
right. I'm not.
I don't want to be
Yeah.
self-serving. That's why we don't have podcasts of us during Rogue Fun. First of all, we were just way too busy to do that. But also, like if we were putting on this event and then actually have a panel that's just an episode of our podcast, it'd feel self-serving.
It would.
Not happening. But thank you for offering.
Yeah.
And thank you for listening to the Smugglers Galaxy podcast. If you could, please leave a like and a 5-star review of the show anywhere you listen. It really helps us out and points people to our show. Our email address is smugglersgalaxy@gmail.com. We love feedback, and we love to make you part of our show. Send us an email. Oh, wait, where am I? Thank you to Alfonso Riviera for the Smugglers Galaxy logo, and thank you to Levi Waterhouse for the music. People collect for the love of it. Hashtag vote with your wallet. Pass on what you've learned. Be a positive force in the collecting community. This is the way.
This is the way.